Coming up on this episode of the Preston North End Weekend Warm-Up, and as East meets West, we'll chat to Lukas Nmecha and Callum Robinson. All that and so much more on this episode of the Preston North End Weekend Warm-Up. Hello and a warm welcome from everybody here at the training ground at Exton to you wherever you might be. And let's start off with the last match against top of the table Fulham at Deepdale.
Well, it's a dangerous free kick here for Fulham. Wilson is stood over it, but he's going to leave it to Sarri, who sent it in dangerously, and it's Ream who prods it in, and the league leaders get the opening goal, and it's their captain, Tim Ream, who's got it. Here's Van den Berg gathering the ball now, finding Emil Rees, who's had a couple of half chances in this first half, despite Fulham's dominance in possession. And Rees has fashioned another chance now as he runs in towards the penalty area. It's a tight angle. He's pulling it back onto his left foot, and it deflects just wide. Well, it was brilliant again from Emil Rees. Between Whiteman and McCann, they win it here, and now it's Barkhuizen trying to skip away from Robinson. Excellent play here from Barkhuizen, getting towards the dead ball line. Oh, and he's upended there by Robinson, who's absolutely clattered him there, and the referee giving the free kick, and North End are after more than a yellow card here as well for the left back. It was an ugly challenge there from Anthony Robinson. The yellow card is out, and it doesn't look like it's going to be more. Rees with the long throw now, and it's a mighty throw as well. Story nearly got to it. Rees is going to get it back here, and he's got company too, but Rees is breezing past Kibano and going for the corner too, and it was very nearly cracked in. The goalkeeper Rodak was able to keep it out, but Emil Rees from a near impossible angle, a long way out as well, very nearly fashioned the most unlikeliest of equalisers. Here's the corner, curled into the far post, and it's Evans again, who forces it over the line, and Ched Evans has done it once again for his team. He did it at the Riverside, he's done it at Deepdale today. 2 goals in 2 substitute appearances for Evans, who is leading from the front and leading by example. Van den Berg going on the outside again, trying to break through between Robinson and Ream, and Robinson's pulled him back. Van den Berg is saying that's another booking, and it looks like he's going to get away with it. Whiteman with the free kick. It's a good ball in. It's just behind everybody. Comes back to Brown, who whistles it over the top.
Great effort by Alan Brown on his left foot.
Alan Brown keeps it in play too, and he's kept it forward. There might be room for one last chance here for Alan Brown, who's continuing to push on, and he's got support with Emil Rees on the far side. Is this the moment for North End to win it? And it's Rees who hits it, and the ricochets go to safety, and the full-time whistle goes. But what a game we have witnessed here at Deepdale, and what fighting spirit the Preston North End players have shown today. They've gone toe-to-toe with the league leaders and got a point.
Right, let's get into our first interview of this episode of the Weekend Warm-Up. Sometimes we look for really tenuous links to try and talk to people we really want to talk to. And I'm going to be honest with you, we stretched it a bit this week. Do you remember that time when Lukas Nmecha set up a goal for Daniel Johnson? Yes, you do. Because we went with that one and we got in touch with him all the way over in Germany to have a chat with us. Now, I know he wasn't the most prolific of goal scorers here, but he learnt a lot. And I'll tell you how much he learnt. He's now playing for the German national team. That's how it is. Come to North End, we'll make you an international player. But by golly, as Fatboy Slim once said, you've come a long way, baby.
Yeah, I'm doing good at the moment. I found a bit of form last season when I was in Belgium, and I've just pretty much carried it on over to Germany with the move that I got. Yeah.
That's probably the biggest understatement. I know you always had understatement in terms of chats at North End and everything, but you're making out as though you're just plodding along. You're flying, aren't you?
Yeah, I made my my international debut a few weeks ago, which was probably the highlight of my career up to now. So it's going really well. Made my Champions League debut, first Champions League goal, and yeah, it's all going really well at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost, it feels like a different planet to the time that you're here at North End when you were this quite young lad coming from Manchester City and sort of trying to get used to Championship football and what have you. What are your main memories or feelings about your time here at North End?
I just remember a really good group, a lot of funny times, Christmas nights out, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, in general, you know, it was my first loan. I played a lot of games. I wouldn't say, if I were to look at the stats, it was a very successful loan in that sort of capacity, but I did learn a lot, and yeah, I had a really good time whilst I was there.
Just in terms of that, I remember you and I have been doing an interview at Springfields, and we were talking about trying to get used to maybe the physicalities of playing the Championship, and in terms of the technical or less technical aspects of it. So how helpful was all that in terms of now being in Germany and playing for Germany, where it is very much a technical aspect? Does that suit your game more, what you're doing now?
Yeah, definitely suits me more. I think most of the season at Preston, I played out wide because I couldn't always get hold of the big long balls coming forward. Yeah, but you know, I was playing out wide, and you know, the amount of games that you play in the Championship is a lot. You know, it's more than what I'm doing now. I'm having a bit more time to recover. With the Champions League now, that's gone down a little bit, starting to get a few English weeks. But yeah, it was definitely the most physical league that I've been in, especially with playing. You know, I played pretty much every week, 3 times a week. It takes its toll. After that season, I went to Germany on loan, and I was absolutely done. But you know, it did help to develop physically, and mainly just getting into battles and stuff like that in the game, playing against bigger guys and stuff like that, helped. And I'm feeling the benefits of it now.
Did it maybe help you mentally as well, you know, in terms of, because I know you went, and again, this was the chat that we had at the time in terms of trying to get that goal. And I remember once at a game at Deepdale, I'm trying desperately to remember what the match was, but there was a penalty. And I remember you getting hold of the ball and genuinely wanting to take it. And I was screaming, saying, and then Gally, who have just in there, took the ball off you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to run down and take it back off him for you as well. But is it stuff like that mentally, now that you're sort of, well, you'll be 23, I think, in a couple of weeks now, won't you? So it's you're getting nearer to, in the next 5 or 6 years, what will be prime Lukas Nmecha. But is it stuff like that makes you the stronger person now?
Yeah, definitely. I remember waiting for that first goal for such a long time. I don't know how long it took for me to get my first goal, but it was definitely a while. But yeah, as a striker, when you start scoring, it's just good for your head. You don't overthink. You just hit the ball. I think when I was at Preston, because it took so long to get that first goal, I used to like overthink or want to set it up perfectly instead of just using what I had and just hitting the ball, which is more of what I'm doing now. But yeah, I think mentally it was massive. You know, the disappointments, then the highs, the lows. When you play that many games, you get so many highs and so many lows. But at the end of the day, I can't really say that you really remember the lows that much. I think I remember more like the good times. And yeah, just took all the positive memories from it and the stuff that I learned from. And I'm trying to use that now.
Well, I'll tell you one of the good times then, and this is one of the main reasons, as much as it's great to see you and chat to you again and sort of remember North End moments and see how brilliantly that you do it in the Bundesliga and on the international one as well. We all reckon that somebody at Wolfsburg watched the game at Ewood Park, either highlights of it later on, or maybe it was there scouting at the day, and you were zipping, used all your power and your strength down the right-hand side, and you whipped in an inch perfect cross to DJ's feet. Do you remember that one? Blackburn away. Yeah, I remember that. Remember that goal. Yeah. I think I remember more. One of my
biggest memories was, I don't know who it was against, but the 2 goals that I remember the most was Jayden Stockley against, I don't know who it was. It was like a late goal or something like that, and everyone just went crazy, and he did like a knee slide, and the fans were in the top tier somewhere, and I remember everyone going crazy.
So, so in terms of comparisons now then, from your time at North End to being internationally, how did you feel when you got that first call?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think a couple of nights before it got announced, the manager called me, said, you know, I'd been doing really well at club level and just that I should just come along and play and take my chance. And it was, yeah, it was a shock in a way because I didn't think it would happen that soon. But yeah, I know that doesn't mean that I'm like a full international, like getting picked every time now, but I just need to concentrate on club level. And I think I learned that at Preston as well. You know, so many games came so quickly that there was a lot of the time there wasn't a time for disappointment or too much of a hype. I think it was always a bit up and down and so many emotions. It just helped to like just focus on the next game, and that's the kind of thing that I'm doing now.
So just finally then, do you still follow North End? Do you ever fancy coming back in, not as a player, although maybe as a player, we'd happily bring you back again any time that you like, but in terms of coming back for a visit at any point, do you get back to Manchester much?
Obviously with COVID it's difficult, but I'd be coming back around Christmas time. So I might head down actually. I still have quite a lot of contact with Alan Brown, Robbo as well, who's not really there anymore, but
we've just spoken to Robbo actually. We've just interviewed Callum because of the goal that he scored. Yeah. Yeah,
I might come down. What games are there on? I'm coming back on.
You come to let me look through the fixture list for you. Well, because we were talking with Callum about you've got a win. You've got a winter break, haven't you?
Yeah,
there.
Our last game is on the 17th against Bayern Munich. Then we have to train on the 18th. And we can go after that. So I'll be back in Manchester around 19th, 20th.
Well, we were talking with Callum because the last game for North End in this year is at West Bromwich Albion. So you could tie all of that in together. So there's Preston at home against Sheffield United on Boxing Day. I don't think you'll be going to Millwall. I'll be pretty sure on that. And then it's the West Brom game. So West Brom, we'll tie you in. We'll get you a couple of tickets.
Yeah, we'll see. That might actually not be a bad idea.
Listen, thank you for talking to us.
Yeah.
Good luck with everything at Wolfsburg and the Bundesliga, and good luck as well. I'm sure we will speak to you at some point before then, but good luck obviously with the Euros as well. Yeah, hopefully you're in the squad there. I know I'm running before we can walk, but you know, if you get involved,
hopefully.
Cross our fingers for you. Thanks,
right.
Lucas.
Thank you.
Callum Robinson still to come. Frankie and Benny still to come. They told me not to say that, but I can't help it. It's Frankie McAvoy and Ben Whiteman. It's Frankie and Benny. Is where you go to it. Is it still open? I don't even know if it still exists anymore. But before we get to any of that, less of the nonsense, more of the victories. And the last time that these two teams met at Ewood Park, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but here's the spoiler alert. We won.
Here's Brown now, out to Cunningham, who's got a bit of space here. It's a good touch from him too. He crosses early, and it's got a deflection and gone through, and Greg Cunningham has scored against the side he was on loan at last season. It's his first goal in this latest spell for North End, and it's quite a start for Alex Neil's side. It's Blackburn Rovers 0, Preston North End 1.
Well, as I say, get the quality right, they'll cause a threat.
Letson with the ball in this time. The goalkeeper's missed it, and it nearly went into a dangerous area. Evans this time being forced down, looking for a penalty. The referee's quick to wave it away, and Blackburn are lucky to get away with that one. Letson with the corner, ready to deliver again. It's bending forward, and it's nodded down, and it's 2-0.
And it was, they just whipped it right in, didn't they? It was a bit of quality.
Nambi here with the ball, trying to find Gallagher, and it's Amby continuing to run on. Gallagher's across there, and the challenge comes in on him. The referee and the assistant are talking, and the referee has given the penalty and pointed to the spot. And it's just crept in. Everson made a very good attempt to get to it, but it was just too powerful. It's gathered well, and Davenport plays it out, and it's crossed in to Armstrong again. Fantastic save. What a save that was from Everson at point blank range. He was able to keep it out. Here's a chance now for Barkhuizen, a chance to seal the win perhaps, and it's just wide. Potts for Evans this time. Potts gets it back, and here's Rees now with his first involvement. Gets it past Branthwaite. Can he finish it here? It's stopped by the goalkeeper. He did everything right up to the finish, Emile Rees.
He did all the hard work, didn't he? Great play.
Preston is screaming to the referee, asking for the full-time whistle, but still David Webb, let's play, come on. But now he does blow the whistle, and Preston do have a fantastic victory here at Ewood Park tonight.
Right, let's hear now from the head coach, Frankie McAvoy, and first of all, the thoughts of Ben Whiteman ahead of that trip to Ewood Park.
Yeah, they're a good side. Played against Tony Mowbray's side for a while now, and they're always well drilled, always good on the ball, and yeah, we're expecting a tough test, but like I said before, hopefully we can go there and get a positive result.
They've taken 10 points for 12 since they were that heavy defeat against Fulham, and you know, credit to them. Because sometimes you could go the other way and you maybe lose a wee bit of confidence because of that type of result. But they've performed really, really well. You know, we've watched them quite a few times in that stage. Tony's got them back in, being a threat. A good result at the weekend at Stoke City, which is a difficult venue to go most of the times. So, but we're in good position. We've done well. We come back from Middlesbrough, which was great, and obviously we had a good performance on Saturday against the team that most people think is going to win the league.
So I think we're confident going into most games, but it's about obviously doing it on the pitch and like you said before, trying to be a little bit more consistent and trying to put a run together.
For a couple of good results there, to be honest, none more so than the last one. Obviously they were the one the fans hit it right enough, but it was a great occasion, and you know, for me, the fans, particularly away games, have been magnificent.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Yeah, like you said, probably the main disappointment last year was the fans not being there, and fans weren't there to see Cunny's goal. I don't think he'll strike many balls better than that. But no, yeah, it was obviously disappointing that they weren't there, and hopefully we can go there in our numbers and put on a show.
Now, when some people talk about CR7, they mention some guy who plays for Portugal, who does that a lot. Our very own CR7 was Callum Robinson, who enjoyed his time thoroughly here at Preston North End. So we caught up with him ahead of the game. That one, that's the celebration you want. So none of that. That's the CR7 celebration. So we'll talk about his games against Blackburn Rovers. We'll talk about his time for the Republic of Ireland, and of course the time at Preston North End. But how do we start interviews? With that question. Come on, you know what it is. Where are you? Yeah, that's it, Mary. How are you? Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, all good. It's been a busy schedule as you guys know, with the league and then the international football as well. But I've enjoyed this season. It's been going well, and yeah, everything is good on my side.
I was going to say, are you missing us? But of course, I mean, there's a few former lads that are with you there anyway, and I guarantee you'll stay. Well, you probably see Brownie quite a lot on international duty.
Yeah.
PJ's one of your bezies anyway, so it's like you're never away, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. It was the first time the start of the season when I went back to deep dive. It was the first time, and it was a bit crazy, to be fair, because you realise obviously with the 2 loans I had before, and then actually signing and playing for them 3 years, I was there for quite a bit. So yeah, I do miss it. Obviously, I loved playing for Preston North End. I've said it in previous interviews, and they took me on when I was a young age, and you see a lot of young players now, and it's hard to get game time. But back then with Simon Grace and the club and Peter Risda, etc., they give me the chance to learn my trade, and it's obviously helped me with my career. So yeah, I've always got a soft touch for Preston North End, definitely.
Right back at you. Right back at you. And of course, do we have to call you Callum Robinson, international footballer, superstar these days? It's going really, really well for you with Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it, and I'm happy that it's I've started to do well for Ireland, because at the international stage, because obviously I've been in the setup now for quite a few years, and just for some reason, as I said, I haven't really scored a lot of goals. But then the way that the lads are playing there now, and we've got a good group together, a good young group as well, some young players coming through well, and you probably look at players like myself and Brownie, etc., as like senior players there now. So it's time to do the business, and I have been lucky enough so far this season, the start of the season with the trips. Disappointed we couldn't obviously qualify for the World Cup. We hit form just slightly too late, but there's a lot there for the future, and hopefully now for the Euros in 24 we can push for that, and if I can keep scoring the goals, that'd be really good.
Yeah, good luck on behalf of us all with that one as well. I'll use your expression that you've just used there, doing the business, because North End go to Ewood Park this weekend, and against a team that you have regularly done the business over the years. I started writing a list of all the games, and I ran out of pen and paper for them. Some happy memories in this fixture for you, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's a bit crazy, because I had an injury in the game as well. The game that I scored that goal, the second goal, deep down, which was good.
You've scored loads of goals against them. It's hard to know which one you're referring to. You're talking about the 4-1 game, aren't you?
And I remember obviously that celebration, what I did to their fans and stuff. But I didn't really have, like, before, I think I scored in the winner, the 3-2. That was the first I scored in that one.
At 10 minutes from time?
Yeah, and it's on Sky. And obviously I know it sounds mad, but when you're younger and like you're on Sky Sports and stuff, and we wasn't on Sky like so much. So to get that winner like on TV, I was buzzing with that, and then didn't really think much into it. And then obviously when I'd done that to the fans, and then I got injured that game as well after, and then I remember just seeing a few bits on Twitter of their fans getting at me and stuff. So since then we've always had a bit of back and forth, which is good banter. Like, I think the lads that same season, they beat them away. I think Josh Harrop scored an unbelievable goal, and I put something, I can't remember exactly, on Twitter. So it's been an ongoing thing. And even when I went there myself for West Brom, the start of the season, there was a little bit, but it's good. This part of football, that's what it's about. Do you know what I mean?
Was that just a spur of the moment thing? I mean, I'm gonna say I'll reproduce it. I'm not sure if I sort of can. It was where did it come from? Was it like did you put it in your head of somebody else doing it, or?
No, I think it was just natural, and I think that's what made it such a sort of good picture and a good celebration. I think what it was as well, we started to do really well, and my confidence was high. I had a great start to the season. I think that was my 10th goal, and it was like by November. So I was like confident. And I always remember there's Bradley Dack as well. He was scoring a lot of goals, and lads were like saying, I think we was on the same amount of goals. And Darragh Lenihan, I think the week before his international duty. So I was with Darragh Lenihan, and we was like, big game Saturday, big game. Obviously he was there. I think Derek Williams was there as well. So it sort of got boosted up, but just within, like, without. So when I scored, I just thought, like, as I said, I was confident. I just thought, I'm giving it is like, and I was on the sprint as well, running right into their fans. So there was nothing else I could have done. Like, so
regularly post, like you say, you regularly remind them at this time. I mean, it's not like it's the only iconic celebration that you've got as well. There are others out there.
Yeah, that was the Bristol City. That was, I had a bad loan there. I don't even know why they dislike me. I didn't even. I think I played.
Jealousy. It's jealousy.
I played probably about 100 minutes in 6 months for them. Like, so I don't know why they don't like me, but it just seems to be sometimes when you get them teams that you score a few goals against, and then it just builds up, doesn't it? It's just natural. So yeah,
It's all good fun, isn't it? So that's what it is all about. Listen, it's lovely to talk to you again. Thank you for sparing some time for the weekend warm up to have a chat as well. And shall we say we'll see last game of the year at the Hawthorn? Shall we?
Yeah,
there?
that's the next time. So it'd be good to obviously see the boys, and obviously over social media. I wish the boys all the best for the weekend, and hopefully they can get that result against them. Definitely.
Okay, that's your lot. Like and subscribe. Please don't make me beg. It's down there or up there or somewhere at least. Anyway, hey, listen, are you going to the game this weekend? If the answer is yes, I'd really like to, but I haven't got a ticket, why don't you have a look on the social media channels of Preston North End, because you might be in for a nice surprise. Could be some extra ticket lurking out there, so check that out now. And if you can't go for whatever reason and you want to listen or watch, depending where you are watching this in the world, I follow P&E. Of course you do, and that's why it's called. That does exactly what it says in the tin. That's it. Fingers crossed for the weekend. And what do we say? What do we say at the end? Come on. Come on, you mates!